First at 4, heartbreak, healing, and resilience in Buffalo. 4 years ago today, hate-fueled violence claimed 10 innocent lives at Tops on Jefferson Avenue.
Possible active shooter at the Tops. There are still shots being fired.
Families were forever changed, and a community continues to carry the weight of that tragic day.
You are resilient, and that counts because you can't be counted out.
4 years later, the calls for change, investment, and accountability continue across Buffalo's East Side.
The systemic racist issues attracted a white supremacist that day to come over and plot to kill as many black people as he wanted to that day.
Not one car was flipped, not one window was broken, but what happened was the community rallied around together.
This afternoon, we hear from the families still carrying the loss, the survivors still finding their way forward, and the community leaders working to turn pain into purpose. And that's where we begin First at 4. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kelly Dudzik. Today marks 4 years since the racist mass shooting at the Tops supermarket on Jefferson Avenue. A tragedy that took 10 innocent lives, injured 3 others, and left a lasting impact on the entire community. Today, we remember the victims: Catherine Massey, Hayward Patterson, Celestine Cheney, Andre McNeil, Margus Morrison, Pearl Young, Geraldine Talley, Roberta Drury, Ruth Whitfield, and Aaron Salter. 4 years later, the grief remains, but so does the push for healing, investment, and change across the East Side community. We have team coverage this afternoon, hearing from survivors, families, and community leaders reflecting on that tragic day while looking toward the future. We begin with Channel 2's Claudine Ewing, who's been out at Tops all afternoon. Claudine.
Good afternoon to you, Kelly. The ceremony today was pretty much short, but it was very direct. It was truly about reflection, and some of the victims' families were here. As we know, not all of the victims' families, they want to be here. They do not want to be here on May 14th. But it was really about a community coming together because, as you mentioned, this community has been forever changed. What happened here was a result of a self-proclaimed white supremacist. That is something that I spoke with Mayor Ryan about after the ceremony.
This is the legacy of America, right? So we have, deep-seated institutional historic racism. So we have to make sure that we can't prevent everyone from feeling hatred, but we can make sure hatred doesn't grow in Buffalo.
And that is something that this entire community wants to hear. Hatred needs to be wiped out. There was a lot more to that ceremony today, and my colleague Ron Plants, he was covering the ceremony. He has more on that. Ron?
Well, Claudine, with these anniversary proceedings, they are also looking forward with an enduring way to honor the memory of those who perished here at Tops 4 years ago. That would be, of course, the 514 Memorial, to be located at Jefferson Avenue and Best Streets, for the 10 individuals who lost their lives and the community at large, which also suffered with this tragedy. So today, with the appearance of Governor Hochul, she announced more state funding from taxpayers will be added to the state's contribution, which was originally $6 million.
I'm in awe of every one of you. And just, some of you may know we still have something called a budget going on. I just got off the phone with my budget director. I said, I'm sitting here in Buffalo. It is a cold day. These people need a little extra help for this memorial that we're building, this living park. I said, can you help me find about $3 million more to get this done? And the answer was, you're the governor. And I said, yes, I am. $3 million more.
Now, the city of Buffalo previously committed $1 million to that memorial fund. Today, or I should say this week, we also learned that a contractor has been selected to oversee this project. The overall project estimated to cost at least $15 million, and previously they had collected $8 million in donations. So again, with this donation from the state today, that would put them at $11 million. Now, there has been other activity in this community today with a group of dedicated volunteers, and my colleague Chelsea Swift joins us now with more information on those activities. Chelsea?
Ron, that's right. I'm here at Cat Massey's Park at the intersection of Cherry and Virginia Streets. And earlier today, volunteers were here planting in her honor. Cat Massey was a community advocate who was dedicated to improving public spaces. And this was one of many community events taking place today for 514. This afternoon, more than a dozen volunteers helped one resident make improvements to her home on Butler Avenue. Several volunteers say they wanted to give back to the community on 514, many of them coming from UB's Educational Opportunity Center. They helped with landscaping and other beautification efforts. One volunteer says this is his first time participating in the 514 Day of Action.
The lady really needed help, and she just seen more people coming and more people coming in. The smile on her face. I'm really glad to be part of something like this. It's amazing.
We're working on just some overall home repair and maintenance to help our neighbors keep their homes beautiful. Buffalo is the city of good neighbors, and we are not going to let tragedy define us. We're going to continue to come together and show up for each other.
Yeah, that effort actually left the homeowner in tears. And this was one of dozens of acts of service happening in the city of Buffalo today. Coming up in the next hour, you'll hear from volunteers in the city's Fruit Belt neighborhood and their effort to clean up a park there. For now, live and on your side in Buffalo, Chelsea Swift, Channel 2 News.
Thank you, Chelsea. 4 years after the Buffalo mass shooting, community leaders say the healing process is still continuing on the city's east side. Buffalo Common Council Majority Leader Leah Halton Pope says while today is about remembering the victims, it's also about turning pain into action through community service and long-term investment in the neighborhood.
We already are doing this. This is a city of good neighbors.
Right.
And making sure that we get out and be intentional today. So while we remember those that we've lost, while we remember some of the trauma that we've all been going through and still living through and still see every single day, that we turn that into action and continue to support one another.
The councilwoman says community stakeholders in the Ellicott District meet monthly to discuss long-term plans for the neighborhood and continue building a broader vision for the future of Buffalo. 2 on Your Side will bring you continuing coverage throughout the evening as we remember those 10 lives lost 4 years ago today. We also live streamed today's remembrance ceremony at Tops as it was happening, and you can watch that right now on demand on our free streaming app.